Hi, folks. So I found another wonderful book to share with you. This book is called The Word Collector, and it's about a little girl, a young girl, who collects words and then donates them or gives them to the world when she feels and where she feels they need them. So, in what we're living today, where we're all home and we might get sick of each other, sometimes some things might come out of our mouth that we don't really mean. And so this is a really great story and then an art piece that can help us remember the words that we want to hear from other people and the words that we want to share. So let's get going with the reading and then the art piece.
So this beautiful book is called The Word Collector by Sonja Wimmer. Luna was an extraordinary little girl. She lived high, high up in the sky. Can you see her house, the lighthouse, way up in the clouds? And she had a very strange pastime. Do you see all the letters in the jar? They spell out the words I just read. And she had a very strange pastime. You'll see in the book, all of the words are like this. Very cool. Luna collected words like other people collected stamps. Funny words that tickle your palate when you say them. Words so beautiful they make you cry. Friendly words that embrace your soul. See how high up she is? See how high her desk is from the ground? It looks like the kitty cat's having fun too. Magic words, delicious words, long and short words, funny words, crazy words, magnificent words, humble words, serious words. And this says little words. Can you see she's watering a plant? And when the plant starts to grow, it turns into a book that says Once Upon a Time, which is how so many stories start. So much to see in these pictures. But one day, everything changed. Little by little, the beautiful, magnificent, and fun words began to disappear. What happened to them? See, she's trying to catch them in a net. Luna asked the birds, the clouds, and the travelers, and they all replied the same thing. People are forgetting all the beautiful words. They don't think they're important anymore. They're too busy. That night, Luna couldn't sleep. And when the first rays of sunlight sent the stars off to bed, she made a decision. You see her standing outside? She put all of the words she had in a big suitcase and set off with them on a journey. See them all tumbling into the suitcase. She flew over seas and continents, mountains and cities. See, she's in a hot air balloon. You see the cat poking his head out. And the beautiful dragonflies. Wherever there was hate and violence, she sowed words of brotherhood, love, and tolerance within people's hearts. So whenever people were angry and mean with each other, she dropped words of kindness. Wherever there were people who were sad and lonely, she wove threads of warm words, words of friendship and compassion. So when people were sad and lonely, she gave them words to make them feel better. And where everyone was too busy to laugh together, blind to the miracle of nature, she scattered the craziest, funniest, and most magical words she had and the words tickled them in their noses, on their tongues, and in their ears. See, she dropped down and she started to throw all the words. And these people have their heads down, and then suddenly they start laughing. But, oh no! Suddenly, the suitcase was empty. There wasn't a single word left. Luna was desperate. But then she saw that people had started to throw letters to each other like balls. They invented new words. They gave them to each other. They shared them, and they let them fly away again. So you see, she dropped kind words, and words that made people feel better, and words that made people laugh, and then they started to make their own. See how happy they look? And so, Luna sighed deeply and began to dance joyfully among them, together with her new friends. She had given them all of her words, but she was happy. After all, what was the point of collecting something if you couldn't share it? See how she looks like she's flying? She's so happy that she shared all of her happiness with the world. What a beautiful story. The Word Collector. Hi folks, so now we're going to do a really fun art activity to go with the beautiful book, The Word Collector. You remember when Luna was in the sky in her hot air balloon and giving words to all the people down below? Well, we're going to make our own versions of hot air balloons and gifts to the world today. So, what you'll need for this art project is some markers or something to color with, something colorful that you can find in your house, a pair of scissors, some paper of any kind, printer paper is fine, a glue stick, and a pencil. So, we're going to start by doing some background on our page. So, you can use markers, that's perfectly fine. I am going to use my watercolor crayons just because it's faster to show you how it works. So, let's see. Skies are blue. Let's make a blue sky. And we're really just making background. We're going to cover it mostly. So we're not going to worry too much about what it looks like. And then, you know, I'm a rainbow girl, right? So we're going to do our rainbow. There's some red. And some orange. And some yellow. So you just want to color your background in with markers or colored pencils. You can just do clouds if you want to, some kind of background, whatever you choose. I'm going to make mine look like a sky with a rainbow, but you can do whatever you want. This is yours. Isn't it fun when you can just do whatever you want, whatever deep inside yourself tells you to do? This feels so good when that happens. Okay, blue. And purple. Pink and purple. And then I'm going to use my water brush just to fill it in. I have quite a wide one today. So this is just a water brush. You fill the reservoir with water. I happen to have them at home, but paintbrush and some water works. Won't work with regular crayons, but with these watercolor crayons, works quite well. So there's some water on my hand. I'm going to drip it on the page. Okay. See, it turns into what looks sort of like paint. And once again, we're not worried about being careful. It's going to dry. If it gets too muddy, I wipe it on my hand. And it's really just play. Just playing with color. Oops, my glue stick fell. We go into the green. And the purple. Okay, I'm going to let that dry while I do my next step. And I'm not so worried about the color being on this water paintbrush because I can wipe it off after. It's not like regular paint that ruins your brushes if you leave it on. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And then we're going to do our hot air balloons. In the meantime, be right back. Okay, so now that you've made your background, I've just written a couple of words. I'll explain that in a bit. We're going to make our hot air balloon. So there's a few ways you can do it. One way is to draw them. I don't know if you can see this one very well. It's in pencil. Let me go over it in marker for you. I found it a little more challenging to draw it freehand, and I'll explain to you in a moment what I mean. I'm someone who likes both sides to be relatively even, and it was challenging to do that. Sort of like a light bulb, right? Can you see that? And then the ropes go down to the basket, which we'll decorate in a minute. The basket generally has a cross hatching to it, like this. And we'll decorate the hot air balloon after. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to take a piece of paper and to fold it in half. Okay, so sort of like a card. We folded it in half. And then we draw the shape of a hot air balloon. And I already did one, so I'll show you what I did. I drew this shape. The sun is in my screen. It's hard to see. I'm sorry. I drew this shape. And then I cut it out, and I ended up with a hot air balloon that's really equal on each side. And then I made a smaller one. There's my small hot air balloon. Can you see them? So I'm going to go with the foldy one just to show you. So I'm going to make 3 of them. I'm going to make a large one and 2 smaller ones. So right now I have a smaller one that I've decorated. See, I've colored the bottom like a basket, and I just put some polka dots on the top. And I'm going to make another small one. So it's shaped sort of like this. Can you see that? And then it has a basket underneath. Okay, so with my scissors, I'm just going to cut out that smaller one. There we go. And I'm going to make sure that it has black marker all around the edge of it so that we can see the shape. And we'll finish the basket. so you can see better. There we go. So then let's decorate this one sort of like this. And then color in some of the sections. So while we do the hot air balloons, let's start thinking about some messages that we would like to send out into the world, like Luna did. So Luna sent out words when people were mean to each other that made people kinder. And right now, some people are not feeling like themselves, right? And you might be one of them. Maybe you're not feeling so much like yourself. And so you can even imagine that you'd like to send a message to yourself from the hot air balloon about how to feel better about everything that's happening. What do you think you could tell yourself? Could you tell yourself it's all going to be okay? Could you tell yourself that right now things are different, but that they'll go back to a regular way eventually? We don't know when exactly, but they will. It won't stay like this forever. So let's think of some messages that we could send to the world and to ourselves when we're coloring this hot air balloon. What else could we say? We could say, try not to worry. And when I try not to worry, what I do instead is I breathe. So we could write the word breathe. Well, let's think of some more in a minute. Okay, we're almost finished. I'm going to get the blue, which is hiding at the moment. Okay, there we go. Okay, and we're going to color our basket gold. I'm going to color my basket gold. You can make yours whatever you color you want it to be. There. Okay. So now I have two small hot air balloons, and I also have a big one that I made earlier, and it looks like this. Mine's in the shape of a heart. And then what I want to do is cut some strips. I put 4 strips along the back of this one. I'll explain how I did that in a moment. And we're going to put 1 strip at the back of each of these. And we make the strips like this. So we take a strip of paper and we cut it. And then we fold it like a fan. So we fold it up and then back and then up and then back. And we do it again with another one. Okay, and then we glue those to the back of the hot air balloons that we've just colored in. And I'll show you why in a second. It's really cool. So we glue one end of the fan to the hot air balloon, and then we wait a minute because we're going to glue the other end to our background picture in a moment. So we glue one end to the hot air balloon around the middle somewhere. Okay. And then with our 3 hot air balloons, I know that Luna or you or me is just in one of them. It's kind of fun to have 3. So I'm going to glue them onto the page. So I'm going to put this one somewhere near the top, which means I'm going to put glue on the back of these fans onto the last little folded part, like this. And Push down a little bit, but not too hard because we want it to pop up. See how it pops up like it's 3D? And then we're going to glue this one here. Well, I am. You can put yours wherever you like. Whoop, to do. There, that's better. They look like they're going to collide any moment. And then this one, maybe here. And it pops up. Okay. Now we want to think about some messages, some words that we want to send. Do you see how it's 3D? Can we see better with this picture? There. Can you see how there's a gap between the page and the hot air balloon? It's very cool. So let's see, maybe if I hold the book like this, we get some shadow. There we go. Okay, so there's our hot air balloons glued to the page. Now we're going to take a marker and we're going to think of some words that we want to send to the world. So remember we said breathe was one of them, right? It will all be okay. Eventually things are going to calm down. What else can we say? I said love. I wrote love and I wrote hugs. What else could we write as a reminder? We could write be kind, because sometimes when we're under stress we use words that are not so kind. So think about as many words as you want to put on this page to remind the world and yourself about how you want to be feeling and how you want them to be feeling during this worldwide life storm. And remember, it's all going to be okay. You know what I tell myself? I say to myself, I'm okay. You're okay. We're okay. It's all okay. It's going to be okay. So let's try that one more time. I'm okay. You're okay. We're okay. It's all okay. It's going to be all okay. So there you go. And you can put your lovely hot air balloons and your flowing words somewhere in your house so you can see them. Have fun with this and post your pictures if you like so I can see them. And tag Creative by Marielle when you do so that I can be sure to see them. See you next time. Namaste, everybody.
So folks, I hope you loved the word collector and the art piece of the hot air balloons that went along with it and the words that we want to share with the world. I loved it because it was such a good reminder for me of the words I want to hear from other people and the way I want to be treated, and also the words that I want to share with other people. And I'm human, just like you are. Sometimes I say things I don't really mean, and the trick to that is apologizing and then remembering and trying to do better next time. And right now, in our stressful world and the way that we're living, sometimes things can be said that we don't really mean and that other people don't really mean. So it's also about being gentle with ourselves and gentle with other people. Great book, The Word Collector. Hope you liked it. And the art piece, I had a great time with you today. Until next time, namaste, everybody.